Hey home bakers, it's Jack here, bakerwithjack.co.uk, bringing you your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday. Do you ever have the end of a loaf like this kicking around, a little bit too crusty for toast and you don't really know what to do with it? Well, welcome my friends to the world of emergency croutons. Roll it. Hey you guys, and welcome back to the Bake with Jack YouTube channel, where I share with you a little bit of my bread making expertise every single Thursday. If you're new here, if this is the first time you've seen my face and this is your cup of tea, consider clicking subscribe and I'll see you here next week. Okay, without further ado, I often have the ends of a loaf kicking around in the house like this because with my job, I've either got way too much bread or zero bread, in which case I'm in need of some sort of emergency backup plan. There's no excuse for throwing away stuff like this. I have loads of it on a daily basis, whether it's sourdough like this or focaccia or whatever it is. I've gotten into the habit of cutting it up and storing it in plastic bags in the freezer for emergencies just like this. Let me cut to the table and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, here we are with a crust like this, an end piece. What I normally do is cut it or tear it up. In my freezer, I keep a plastic bag, okay? It lives there all the time and I just add stuff to it. If I've got leftovers that I cut up into squares like these, I'll add it to my bag and keep it in there for whenever I need them. As you can see, this is a rather mixture of breads and bits and bobs that I've left the crusts on. You can take the crusts off if you want to, but I like to leave the crust on because then you're literally wasting nothing at all. This, I was in the mood for cubes, which is wonderful for soup or salad or whatever. And this one is focaccia, which I've torn up into chunks because I was probably feeling a little bit more rustic that day. And these are wicked actually for Caesar salads. If you dress them up as part of your salad, they're really delicious, right? But at this moment in time, it's just frozen chunks of bread in the freezer, kept there forever until that emergency situation strikes. So here's the scenario. You got a soup, you got a salad, but you haven't got any croutons or any bread to go with it. Get yourself a tray like this and a bowl. I'll do both so you can see them both for some reason. Right, here's my bowl. I've got olive oil, I've got a little bit of salt, and all we need to do is take some of our frozen croutons and pop them in the bowl and dress them up nicely. Let's go with these ones. So this one being a focaccia, right, it's already quite oily and it's already salty. I'm not going to season these because my focaccia normally has salt all over the top of it, so I'm not going to season these. If you want to, you can totally defrost these because it will take up the oil better. It'll be easier. You'll be able to wipe around that bowl like a sponge and lift off all that oil onto your croutons. But if you're just taking straight from the freezer in a proper emergency, just give them a little toss like this in olive oil. Rub them all over one another because they will all rub on each other and pick up a little bit of oil too, which would be wonderful. And then you can go onto your tray like so, yeah? I love these properly massive rustic croutons. I'm not talking about those little square deep fried pillows that you get that people just to cut up a load of sliced bread and pop it in a deep fat fryer. That's not acceptable behaviour, okay? This is a proper crouton. This one, pop my cubes in there. Exactly the same, except this time I'm gonna give it a little bit of salt for seasoning because this one will probably need it. We all like a little salty, crunchy crouton in the salad. Give it a little toss, wipe it around the bowl, squeeze them all up against each other so they've all got a nice bit of oil on there. And pop it onto my tray. Sweet, how easy is that in an emergency? Right, now, these two trays are going to hit the oven at 180 degrees C, which is 356 degrees F for you guys over the pond, and gas mark 5. I put them in my electric fan oven for 180 degrees C for about 12 to 15 minutes to get some colour. At that point, these are going to be nice and crunchy on the outside, and so are these actually, and chewy on the inside, which is delicious if that's what you're after. Otherwise, crack that oven door open, turn it off and let them dry out completely for about half an hour, 45 minutes or so, and then they'll be properly crisp and crunchy straight to the middle. Cue the crouton montage. And there you have it. If you get in the habit of doing that, of topping up your bag with any odds and ends like this, you never have to throw anything away ever again. And not only that, but you're all prepared for a breadless, croutonless emergency. At any point in time it may strike and you'll be ready for it. Then when you're done, have a think about it. Smash open that box, explore the possibilities, use your imagination. I'm talking about black pepper. I'm talking about cheese. I'm talking about fresh herbs. I'm talking about garlic. Have a think about it. Push those boundaries and make the ultimate emergency crouton. Not just a spare of the moment delicious crouton, the ultimate crouton, as if you were going to do it all along. Add that stuff to your bowl and give it a toss and see what you come up with. See what you like. The taste of it really is a blank canvas. Listen, thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope it's helpful to you and I hope it minimises waste if you're in a situation where you get that waste. Sometimes we're all human beings, right? I have that end of a loaf that goes hard. I never get round to eating it and that's just the way that it goes sometimes. But the last thing I want to do after I made it, after I created it in the first place, is just toss that end into the bin. Let's do everything that we can to make sure that that doesn't happen. Thanks so much for watching this week's video. I hope you've got some sort of value out of it. And if you have and you've not subscribed yet, click subscribe. And if you have subscribed, hey, thanks for being a subscriber. 30,000 people. Can you believe it? It's probably more than that now by the time this goes out. It's absolutely crackers. Listen, thanks so much. I'll see you back here next week for another bread making tip. See ya. Thanks for watching this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you follow me on social media, you may well know that it's not just bread that I do. If you're looking for ideas of what to serve your bread with, I popped out a little blog post the other day, the Bake with Jack blog, about a spread I made for a pita bread demonstration. If that's your cup of tea, go check it out. I'll leave the link underneath. See you next week.